Good morning, afternoon and evening, my crazies. My name's Angela, I'm the Crazy Poppy Lady, and welcome back to Whips, Bits and Chat 125. Okay, so we've got some fun stuff lined up for you. I've got some fun stuff lined up for you this week, so come on, let's go and see what I'm talking about. Wow, it's early in the morning here. I feel like a zombie, so if my facial expressions are a bit different to normal, just know I'm trying to stay awake. Rubbish night's sleep, but there we go. So let's get on, first of all, with our video roundup for this week. There was 3 videos I managed to get out for you. Not too many, luckily, and not too few. Just about the right amount, I hope. Okay, so our first item up was the book review, and that was 500 crochet blocks by Hannah. I can't pronounce her last name, but don't panic. There will be up in this corner a little I button where if you didn't get the opportunity to have a quick look at that one, you can pop along in a little bit and have a nose. My next video that came out was a yarn shopping. Now, I went to the range, to B&M and Home Bargains, all in Gloucestershire this time. In Gloucester, sorry. Gloucestershire. It gets confusing. But it wasn't until I came home and was putting the video together that I realised that there was also a Hobbycraft very, very close by. Now, I've noticed that if there is a Hobbycraft very, very close by, then most of the shops don't put a lot of yarn out because they get all the yarny business. So that's why there wasn't too much yarn in those shops, and I also didn't walk out with any of it. None at all, not one single ball or hank. But that's alright, because later, was it a little bit later on this week, we also had the last dyeing attempt at dyeing cotton using those Aldi yarns. That is it now. Not Aldi yarns, sorry, yeah, Aldi dyes. There is no more Aldi dye videos coming up, but there is another dye video coming up with some new dyes that I've picked up, so I can't wait for that one this coming week. And I'd really like to apologise to anybody that made it through to the live reveal of that video. Was it the premiere? And because I got called out and I went off to help somebody on Thursday thinking it was Wednesday. So I got back around 4:45 in the evening and looked at my comments, because when I got home, that was the first thing I did, is to check to see if any of you had left me a message on any of the videos, to find that I'd missed my own premiere. Proper kicking myself. So now I'm going to have a nose at that video and read your comments and see if there were any questions that you posed during that time, which I can then answer now. Okay, so that was all the videos that I managed to get out for you this week. Right, so I'm also going to do a little bit of spoiling in a second. So if you haven't had a chance to watch that dye video and you want to, pause this one, head over to there. The link is up here. And then pop back and see me in a little bit on this video. Right, okay, so what have I been up to this week? Well, I've actually managed to get some crocheting done. The cramp in my hand that has been doing my head in the last couple of weeks, which was in that finger, and that finger, and the thumb, is now down here on this finger. So it's improving. That is improving. It's back down to about here, and this finger is becoming a lot easier to feel, which means I can now hold my yarn. Okay, my tension isn't too brilliant, which is why I carried on with my dodgy sock challenge from last week. Not this sock. I found a completely different pattern. Yay! And it worked even better. So I'm just going to get the details because I've forgotten who it was. And I'll be back with you in a second. Right, so I've got the information now. Now, the pattern that I used is called the Crochet Family Sock, and it goes from toddler's size all the way up to adult. It's the rest of the bit is easy, and it was by the Crochet Crowd. Now, this is really good because not only did Mikey talk you through the different stages, but there is also a written pattern that he talks you through on the screen as well. So it meant then that it helps you learn to read patterns because you've got the pattern in front of you, free to download. And of course he shows you the more complicated bits, which are the turning of the heel and the toe and the ribbing and all that sort of stuff. So he's making it on a little dinky a kiddies one, but of course he has made it in multiple sizes as well. So that's about the pattern. I really loved it, and I really liked the way that it the video and the pattern worked as a team. So I tackled this pattern and I used the 50 grams of the 50/50. Okay, now this was from die video number 2, where I was trying to get a match on my favourite one from die video 1. Okay, but what I did was I used the first colourway that I made, where I made 3 50-gram hanks, because I thought, well, hopefully that'll mean I've got enough. So I started crocheting, and this pattern starts from the top, so it starts from the ribbon and works down to the toe. Okay, so I started on the ribbon. Now I haven't sewn my ends in because I finished this at 1 o'clock this morning, hence why I'm a bit tired and I may not be making a lot of sense. But hey, that's me normally. Okay, so I started off with the ribbon. Oh, and no ends have been sewn in, but then that's me. Right, back to the sock. Right, I made the ribbon and I was quite chuffed with that, and I wrote down the amount of rows I did so that I knew my second sock would match. Whether it be too small or too big or just right, doesn't matter, it matched. So then I moved on to the next section. This bit's simple as, okay, it is going round and round and round and round, and it's all single crochet. Then I got to the heel. Oh, hold the right bit because otherwise I'll spoil it. I got to the heel, and by this point I'm weighing my yarn and I'm thinking I'm not going to have enough to complete the heel and the next section of the sock as well as the toe. So back into here I came, and I picked up I think it was the little blue that I'd one of the blues that I'd done. I went outside, I started doing the heel, and then I realised I was using 100% cotton, which is a lot thicker. So that got stripped out, and I came back in here again. And I thought, right, well, do you know what? The sock looks pretty plain and simple up to the heel. Nobody's going to really see the heel unless I'm walking around without shoes on. So I picked up the bright rainbow that I'd done in video number 1. But I picked up the 50/50, which meant that the colour variations on it are lighter than this one. But it was dyed at the same time, so you can see in this hank how the colours are laid out. Okay, so that and that, hot mess or what? But as I started working the heel, I'd gone from getting very bored of the colour changes in this section, okay, and I was starting to get really bored with the project until I put that rainbow one in. Now the heel on this is a reinforced heel. Now I'm actually going to turn it inside out because, oh, I don't need to actually, I like the pattern on both. But what you're doing here is you're working two different rows. One is a row of standard singles, and then the next row is what do they call it? A longer single crochet. Okay, so it makes a really cool little spike style stitch. Okay, so I followed the pattern as it was. Actually, I'm going to turn it inside out so you can see it, how it was working up for me. Okay, and I really love it. I think it's so cute. Look at this. Yes, as I said, I've got ends I need to sew in, but I absolutely loved how this yarn was working up. Okay, it might look a bit totally crazy for some of you, because of course I'm not normally one for dotty yarns and short colour changes. So when I find one that actually works and I like, even better. It just happened I dyed it. Okay, but yeah, so that is how it looked as I was working it up. Now this is a very padded, so it's going to work wickedly when I get myself a new pair of boots and I have to wear them in. But here it is once folded the right way, so this is how it will look when it is on the foot. See what I mean? Isn't that cute? And there's the other side. Okay, so as I said, these are this is the first ever pair of socks I've managed to complete. That was the first I'd ever tried to make. That's getting undone and used for something else. And once I'd done the heel multiple times, because I kept having people disturb me and I got confused, the first section of it is really lovely and easy. It's just backwards and forwards. It was when it came to doing this a little bottom section here, where you're bringing in the bottom of the heel to shape it. That's the bit that threw me, and that's when I had to go back to the video to check. Yeah, so there was a couple of bits where I went to the video to check where I was going wrong, and that was one of them. Now I know that my stitch work on here in some places is very loose, okay, so it's going to be a little bit gappy, but again, it's the first time I've ever tried it, and with a dodgy hand I still don't think I've done that bad. So then once you turn to the heel, you then work on to the rest of the sock, and there is some, oh there we go, some extra sections here where you are decreasing, that's coming along there. But it works in with the pattern, so it looks quite nice and neat. It looks neat as far as the pattern's concerned. Okay, then I covered all this section here for my big size 6 foot. And then I got to the toe. Now, this hank isn't that big, okay? And the other one wasn't either. It was only 20 grams, I believe. Yeah, 20 grams. So I was pretty much playing yarn chicken, and so what I'd done to get to the toe, when I got to the toe section, was I undone the ball that I had, and I got both ends and I literally just threaded them through my hands until I found the centre of the yarn. I tried weighing it, there was 3 grams left to do the 2 socks. No, not 3, sorry, 7 grams left to do the 2 socks, and I'm like, how am I meant to use my tatty old scales to work out 3.5 grams? So that's why I undone the ball and worked it, and actually sat there threading the yarn through my hand so that I could find the exact middle of the yarn. And then I started crocheting, and I mucked up the decrease on this section, on one of the toes, about 3 times, because by this point it was about 11 o'clock at night and I was getting really tired, but I ended up doing it and I'm super chuffed. And yes, I stripped it back, and yes, I thought I was going to run out of cotton, so I'd come in here and grabbed the blue, and I'd done a section of the blue, and then I'd done it again with the rainbow effect yarn, but it was only about that big and you couldn't see the rainbow, so I stripped that back because I didn't like it, and then I went in with the rainbow and thought, well, it needs be, I'll end it with the blue. But I was playing yarn chicken. Do you want to know how much of the yarn was left? Not a lot. Not a lot at all, but I've got myself 2 socks. That one's got the top rolled down, which is probably how I'm going to end up wearing them. Here we go. So there they are. They don't completely match. They're never going to completely match now, are they? But it turned out on one of the heels I was taking the yarn from one end, and on the other heel it was from the other end. So they're definitely not going to match. Sorry, not the heels, the toes. So they don't quite match, but oh, isn't it cute? I love it. They're sort of yeah. So those are the socks, and that is my one completed item for this week. And the amount of yarn left, oh, in all its shapes, 2 grams. 2 in total. 2 grams of the main coloured yarn, which of course was that one. And how much was left of the rainbow? Loads. Loads and loads and loads. I haven't even measured it, but yeah, that was it. That was how much was left. So yes, there is a slight difference here on one strand. That's because it actually, when I first tried it, I had a knot in the yarn, which had been there since I since I hanked up the yarn prior to dyeing, and I couldn't get it out. So I decided to leave it, and I'd marked that hank so that I used it for my project instead of anything else. Which is why, another reason why I've said the Aldi yarns are not the ones that I would sell, just solely because they're the hanks that I've come across so far that might have a couple of little issues with them, whether it be a knot that I can't undo. I had another hank that the one strand of the cotton, as I was prepping it and hanking it, one strand broke, and so I've got a little section about that long that I had to cut out, and then of course there's a knot in it. So that yarn again is for me, and I believe it is one of the purples from this week's or last week's, sorry, dye video. So if you haven't seen it and you want to see it in the video, then either pop over to the video now or fast forward this bit. Okay, I'll pop a screen up of some sort so that you can see. Okay, so just fast forward. Ready? Go. Push the button. Okay, for everyone else, these are the 2 hanks. Ow, elastic bands. The 2 hanks from this week's dye video. They are done on different yarns. Yeah, I got confused again. Sorry, confused. Okay, so this one is on the 50/50 and cotton acrylic base, which means that the colours come out lighter, and it is the purple. I will pop up the pictures that I used in the video to show you better, because the lighting in here is rubbish. But there we go, and that is the purple. Will it focus in best as we can? Okay, and I used the best technique ever on that. I'm not spoiling it. I thoroughly enjoyed dyeing that one, and I intend to do it again with my new dyes. I've just got to try and get the colours to match, which I think I'm working on. I think I've got it. So that was that one. And then the solid that what goes along with that one is actually on the 100% cotton. So it doesn't go with that one at all. I'll have to go for something else. And it's only a 20 gram. But there it is. That is the other one, which was the purple. So they come up, I think they are really, really beautiful. Right, okay, the colour there is pretty similar on the dark anyway, on the solid. There we go. Right. And new screen. And welcome back if you decided to leg it for a second or fast forward me. How confusing was that? Right, so yep, those are the items for this week that I have done for you. Or videos and stuff. Oh, brain. Oh, other details I forgot to tell you is I used a 3.5mm hook, and instead of following the pattern for a size 6, I went for the ladies 7 to 8 because I wanted to make sure that the gap between the cuff and my heel was a bit longer, and also the pattern calls for a 1 weight yarn and this was a 2, so I was hoping that I was getting it round the right way when it came to my hook and a yarn choice and size choice, and I've put them on and they fit lovely. I am so shocked, it's unbelievable. Something I've made recently that finally fits because everything else hasn't. So yeah, those were the extra details. So that was the 3.5mm hook, the 50/50 cotton, and the pattern in a size 7 to 8 to make a size 6. Now the it's a UK size 6, so that may be where the size is slightly different because I know American sizes are slightly larger, and I've only just remembered that fact. Now I've finished the socks. Okay, but yeah, there we go. So they're the extra details. If you're in the UK, go for the size 7 to 8 if you're a size 6. Now it's time for the best bit of the video for me anyway, which is your photographs. Now we have two gorgeous girls this week that have sent us in some photographs. Our first one up is Jen Reeves, or as I like to call her, Jen. Now Jen won a pattern last month, so she wanted to find out roughly how big it was going to be, so she has done a swatch of the 10 by 10 corner to corner video number 5. I will link it up here, and so she can work out the size of the blanket she's going to need, hence why the tape measure is there. So let's have a nose. Now these next set of photographs are from Ravelry. She has had a go at video number 25, which of course is the cactus square. I love it, but I've had a sneaky look already. And the second picture that she's sent was the basket weave stitch. Now she hasn't made a square with that, she has made something completely different. So I will pop the pictures up now so you can have a look. Right, so now it's time for the competition draws. That's right, I had a few going on the channel. The first one up was from Whips, Bits and OMG It's Hot 119. Okay, slight bit of a change in name from normal Whips, Bits and Chat. Now this one was posted on the 24th of July. I decided to extend the amount of time because there wasn't a great deal of comments that were added in, and nothing actually has been added in for a month. Okay, so you had an extra bit of time, but you chose not to. And now the prize was for the winner only pattern, I believe. Let me double check. Yep, it's for a winners only pattern. Right, so this time round I got the spinning willy thingy me bobbly wobbly and I have typed everybody's names in. You've each got 2 goes on this, as there were only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 of you. Okay, so that's 8 of you. So if your name is Spring, have a go Joe, Crafty Moo, Anne-Marie, Mrs. B, Bradshaw, sorry, OMG Granny Square, or Yana, you're on. So get ready gang, here it is. Oh, I've got to try and hold this up with a wonky hand, this will be fun. Okay, I flipping dropped it. Okay, so Now I'm holding on as tight as I can. Right, so here is the wheel. Oh, are you ready, gang? 3, 2, 1, go. Good luck, everybody. Spring, you've only gone and done it, girl. Congratulations. There we go. So there is our winner for that very first one. Now I'm going to set up for the next one. Right, so the next competition up is from the Hot Melting Live that was on earlier on in the month. I've had to sit through myself chatting at ×2 speed just so I can find out what it said you had to do. Now all you needed to do was pop back to the video and pop a comment underneath. It was a nice, quick, simple, easy one. And it didn't matter what the comment was, so that makes it a little bit easier. And you was gonna win a winners only pattern again for this month. Right, so I'm gonna set up the wheel and I'll be back in a few moments. Right, so I've set up the wheel. There are 4 of you on there, so you've both got your names. You've all got your names on there twice. We've got a Linda, we've got Jen R, we've got Mrs. Bradshaw, and we've got our cheeky OMG a Granny Square Ursula. So here we go. There's your names. Good luck, everybody. Oh no, Ursula, you've been stitched up, hun. You've got corner to corner pattern coming your way once you've chosen it. If you wait a few seconds, I'll explain what you need to do to claim your prize. Right, now I did have one more competition that was running this month that's finished now, because that finished on the 30th, but it was the How Well Do You Know Me giveaway. So rather than adding the answers into today's video and then drawing the winner, I'm going to do it as a separate video because the answers are as long as the questions were. Okay, so for my gorgeous 2 winners today, which is our Ursula at OMG a Granny Square and our cheeky Spring, what I need you girls to do is send me over an email. The information is in the description box down below. I believe you've both got it anyway. And pop a comment onto this video before you find me over the email. Then I will give you a code. You stick it into the comment that's on this video, and then I will fire you over the pattern that you've chosen. Congratulations once again, girls. Right, that is it for me for today. I think I've talked your ear off plenty, so I'm going to head off now. I will see you all really, really soon. So remember, stay chilled, stay happy, and keep crafting. Ta-ra for now, everybody. Right, so the last draw for this month is the How Well Do You Know Me giveaway. Now, this one was posted on the 1st of August. Right, so I'm going to spin the wheel first. I'm going to record that and I'm going to add that bit in later, because what I plan to do is pull up the winners' answers and see, fingers crossed that they've written some in, and let's see how close they are. Right, I'm spinning now. So now for the questions and the answers, and trying not to be swayed by the winner's comment. Right, okay, so what is my absolute favourite colour? I love purples. Absolutely adore shades of purple, and my second one up is maroon. Now the winner guessed that, I think she was being sarcastic, teal, yellow and orange. No, they're just too bright for me for the majority, especially those yellow and oranges. Okay, the next one up was, what is my favourite yarn to work with? I like to work with DK weight yarn, because it's the quickest and easiest to get hold of here in the UK, and my winner guessed in at worsted. And DK as well. You cheeky, you got yourself a tick mark there. Okay, and number 4 was my second favourite weight. Okay, so no, you got them around the wrong way actually. I prefer to work with the DK because it's easier to get hold of, and if I'm working aragurumi to make things bigger and make it feel like it's going quicker, yeah, the worsted is for me. Okay, So next one is, what am I totally passionate about, and so is my husband. Your guess was yarn. Mine is actually the Royal British Legion. As some of you know, I've made umpteen million poppies for them now, and also in the last week of October, beginning of November, I man the tables for them as well. So that's normally when my channel does go quite quiet and you get basic videos during those 2 weeks. Where are we? What's my favourite holiday, especially to decorate with? You got it right! I love myself the Halloween. I'm sorry, but I used to love Christmas when the kids were little because I'd be stupid. We would only have a tree up that they decorated in the lead up to Christmas, and then Christmas Eve, once they were in bed, the tree got stripped, it got redone, all the decorations went out, all the presents went under the tree, so that when they woke up in the morning, all of a sudden it was a magical winterland that they would walk into that room, and it looked like someone had vomited Christmas decorations. It's the only way. It did. It looked like Christmas vomit of decorations. Okay, then. What am I obsessed with in any of its forms? I can't remember what I put in for this one. But yeah, I would probably go, at this moment in time, yarn. What do I love? A hint, it's in the outer net. I love nature. So I love walking on grass in bare feet. I love paddling in bubbling brooks. I love sitting down the beach, just listening to the waves lapping up. I love the sound of most birds. Seagulls, they can do one, but I love most bird calls, unless it's 4 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, that sort of thing. What, if anything, do I collect? I collect shot glasses, but that's only a personal collection, because I like to have a memory of each holiday that I have been on. And you said Star Wars. No, don't collect Star Wars. Okay. What's the channel all about? Yarn, try and save money and have a laugh and a giggle. There we go. What's the channel all about? Done that one. What is the name of my fur baby or live co-host? Of course, that is cheeky Liam. You called it Mr. Poppy. I don't want Mr. Poppy coming in. He does my looking in. Okay. As a fibre base, what is my favourite sparkle yarn? I don't know that one yet, and I did give you the clue because I actually wrote on the end of that question, even though I don't know it. So no, I don't know that one yet. I've tried a couple. One I found quite sharp. The strand, the sparkle strand was quite sharp, so I decided I wasn't going to work with that one again. And I haven't gone in for any of the more posher yarns that have it in as yet. Name some other hobbies that I have tried out. Missy, I loved your response to this one. Cable tossing, she said. Cable tossing. Okay, now she knows it's her. But no, I have tried cross stitch. I did that 20 odd years ago. I have tried knitting. I can do 1 stitch. And that was even further back than that. I've had a go at gem painting. Oh crikey, what else was there? There's been quite a few. I pick up and dropped hobbies quite a lot. But of course crochet stuck with me, and I've got to get rid of all this yarn before I could ever think of quitting. And as I've become a bit of a collector as well, that ain't gonna happen now, is it? So that is the end of the questions and answers. Okay, it wasn't as fun as I was hoping for, or even as long as I thought it would be, but congratulations to our gorgeous winner. Right, so and now it's time for the spin. There's a good few names on here. You've only got 1 entry onto the spin, otherwise it looked a bit crowded and you couldn't actually see the name. So good luck everybody. Oh, who's got it? Handmade Designs, congratulations darling. Did you guess it was your comment that I was reading? Yeah, that's right, Handmade Designs. It was you, so congratulations, darling. If you could pop a comment into the comment section of this video so that I know you've seen it, and then find me off an email and jump through all the normal steps that I know you've had to do before, so I know that you know what you're doing. That would be absolutely brilliant. You have a week, honey, to claim the prize from this video. Right, that is it, everybody. I am out of here. So I will see you all really, really soon. So please remember, stay chilled, stay... Oh, even I've forgotten it now. So remember, stay chilled, stay happy, and keep crafting. Goodbye, everybody.